Cultic is a new retro-style first-person shooter that is being published by 3D Realms. It caught my eye when I saw the trailer since it seemed to blend quality FPS action with a horror-like setting. With the announcement of the game, the publisher released a demo, so I figured why not give it a try and see what it felt like to play. The controls are easy to pick up on. You have all of the traditional movement options like sprint, jump, a kick for pushing back enemies, interacting with different objects, along with all of the shooting. While this is a first-person shooter, your first weapon will actually be a melee weapon. The hatchet is a nice choice for this setting, and it shows the player how each weapon has a unique alternative fire. For example, the hatchets can be thrown, the shotguns can be fired from one barrel or both at the same time. The melee and throwing has a sort of charging system where if you hold down the attack button, you can unleash a harder hitting hit. The demo only consists of one level, but it lets you play around with quite a few different toys. You have a pistol, SMG, shotgun, rifle, and TNT. There might be more weapons in some of the secret areas, but those are the ones that I was able to find. Each of the guns feel really good to use. The sound effects are pretty good, and the impact is the best part about the shooting, with many of your shots resulting in gory results. Headshots will cause heads to pop with an excessive amount of blood, along with comically having the enemy's eyes remaining on the ground. I really enjoyed the use of those alternative fires. The TNT really lets you toy around with a few different strategies. You can throw out the TNT and then shoot it to set it off, or you can light it and then throw it out to create a sort of time bomb. This could be fun in those situations where you might need to hold your ground. If you have a large opposing force coming after you, resulting in you racing back to a safe location, laying out some TNT as a trap, and then shooting it when the enemies arrive. While the trailer presents the action as visceral situations, I actually found the action to be a bit slower, presenting the action and pacing with peaks and valleys. There is a constant stream of enemies coming at you, but not in the large amount of numbers or intensity that you would expect from the trailer. To the game's credit, there are really fun areas that do act like high combat situations, that feel more like the trailer was presenting. Now, I'm not saying that the trailer was misleading. I understand why it was highlighting the high action areas, which is why I was unexpectedly surprised by how enjoyable the slower moments were in the demo. Cultic has this horror-like atmosphere infused into the action, and it greatly helps to keep this constant state of tension. By having areas with a few enemies rather than several, it allows the player to soak in the environment along with being able to hunt down the level's many secrets. Just like in many retro-style shooters, exploration is a key element in the game. I found that I could not just blindly fire my weapon since I would quickly find myself with only the hatchet to use. Many of the secrets greatly increases your chances to survive the level, along with finding weapons that you would never encounter without those secrets. For example, early on, you can find a rifle hidden in a room that can be easily missed. Some secrets are discovered through blowing up hidden walls, going in a different direction, or making a jump to an area that kind of looks like a place that you could go to. The exploration is rewarding, and even on normal, I found it to be essential to always look for this extra ammunition for the next fight. I also want to praise the demo for having some nice situations of rising tension, and allowing for the action beat to build and then explode with combat. There is a section within the demo that gets to highlight the creepy side of the game. With bodies hanging from the ceiling, as you move throughout the area, you can hear them creaking and turning. This adds a nice scary, creepy element to it, along with making the player feel very uneasy. This eventually leads you to finding a key to progress, and needing to fight a boss-like character with some of the hanging enemies now coming for you. If the main game can have more moments like this within its levels, the entire game could potentially be filled with situations that really stay with you. To the game's credit, there is some good attention to detail with shell casings hitting the floor when you fire, along with your magazines remaining on the ground. There's even a cool random killing floor-like effect where the game will go into slow-mo for certain headshots that you pull off. I really enjoyed the randomness of it and allowed you to get a quick breather during some of the more intense parts. When it comes to the game's story, the initial cutscene helps to set the mood mood with the imagery and the music, but it seems more like a narrative that is there to provide you with action rather than have a meaningful story. At the same time, there is only one level in the demo, and it's still too early to tell about the story. While the demo did present many situations that did surprise me, it also provided some unexpected and not too pleasant surprises, with a feeling of it being unpolished. There were several situations where the enemies would not even notice me, even when I was right in front of them. This seemed like an issue where the enemies would just get stuck in the environment and forget to target the player. I played the demo twice, and this was something that I noticed more the more I played the demo. The AI would be outright dumb or just stand there like a statue and do nothing, as I easily picked off everyone, and they would only engage me when I got closer to them, or sometimes not at all. I also had a situation where a boss-like character was able to hit me through a doorway. Now this could have occurred from splash damage, so this honestly could have been my fault. Now one of the worst bugs and glitches was how on my second run I was not able to pick up the hatchet. Thankfully this did not happen the first time I booted up the demo, since it really would have been off-putting to have this happen right away. But even so, I had a hard time getting this to work again. I tried restarting from a checkpoint along with quitting back to the main menu. Neither of those worked, but I was able to pick up the hatchet again only when I completely quitted out of the game and then returned back to it. While there are many aspects about this demo that I did like, I am concerned a bit for the full game. One would think that a demo would be presenting you with a nice snapshot at what the main game would have, while also being one of the more polished aspects about the game since this is available for anyone for free. But Cultic's demo has its fair share of issues that need to be worked out, especially if they are present within the entire full game. When the Cultic demo was running well and not getting hung up on bugs and glitches, it presents a really promising experience with a good blend of action in a horror setting. The shooting feels good, the weapons provided in the demo are really fun to use, and the alternative firing modes allow for some nice options for player expression. I never found the amount of ammo to be rather high, and as such I need to really make my shots count, and explore the areas for the many secrets. The pacing to the action was a pleasant surprise, as the demo had many well done peaks and valleys, as there were parts that really let the tension build and then explode into some enjoyable action. Given that this is a demo, all the levels in the first game may not operate like this, but what was presented here I really enjoyed, but when some of those bugs and glitches popped up, it caused some frustration. The demo had a few too many issues that could hurt the flow of this potentially enjoyable experience. On Steam, the game does not currently have a set date, and if the main game has some of the same issues as the demo, I think it needs more time for more polish. I do wish these developers the very best, and I hope that the main game is good. The demo was promising. Thank you very much for watching.